Today we're going to take a look at two of my favorite properties of all time, the Masters of the Universe and Thundercats crossover by Mattel. I'm also going to show off one of my figures from my original collection. It's pretty impressive. You should stay tuned. It's at the end of the video.
Welcome to the Story Weaver, where the magic of childhood comes back to life. From mystery blind boxes to toy reviews of both new and nostalgic lines, and deep dives into the cartoons we grew up loving. Whether you're a collector or just here for the memories, it's time to unwrap some fun. Let's weave some magic.
By the power of Grayskull! Thundercats!
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time. My name is Weaver, and this is the Story Weaver channel, where I open up blind box toys, blind bag toys, regular toys, kind of check them out, test them out, tell you what I think about them, see if they're worth the money, see if they're worth your money, see if they're worth the hype. Today I'm doing something a little different. I will not be opening anything today. Today I'm actually going to be taking a look at the new Masters of the Universe Thundercats crossover series, where they combine aspects of Masters of the Universe with Thundercats characters. So, if you don't know, I have been collecting toys for nearly 20 years, and the first thing I collected was Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe is my love, and She-Ra, Princess of Power, is my love as well. I have always loved those two properties. I loved the cartoons when I was little. I would come home from school, and that's what I would watch. And my family being very poor, I never really could afford, they never could really afford to buy me a lot of the toys. If I ever got anything that was on a special occasion, I had Castle Grayskull when I was little and Snake Mountain. I got one for Christmas one year and one for Christmas the next year. That was my big gift. And if I got any figures, it was usually on a birthday, and I would get maybe one or two figures at that. I never had any of the vehicles, never had any of the other things, any of the other sets as well. I never had any She-Ra figures growing up because I was a boy. So, of course, boys aren't supposed to have She-Ra dolls. But when I got out on my own and started making my own money, I made it a point to collect Masters of the Universe because it was something I always wanted when I was little. And I made a vow to myself that I would one day have them. And I did. I actually had, in the original Masters of the Universe line, I had every single figure. I had collected every single figure, buying off and on from eBay. A lot of it I got from a website called He-Man.org. If you never heard of that, it was like the premier fandom for Masters of the Universe back in the day. The website is closed. Closed now. Is actually a moderator on the website, on the fan forums there for a while as well. And unfortunately it closed. Fan forums aren't what they used to be because of social media and everything. But that's where we were. I had almost every figure. That I think there were only like 2 or 3 figures that I didn't have. I didn't have the giant figures. I had never gotten those, but I had all of the vehicles, I had all of the play sets, and unfortunately, I got into a place where I had to sell everything. And I sold everything except for very few figures. I did not sell my original castles, Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain. I kept them, but only the shells. I sold all of the inside accessories and everything. So it was very upsetting at the time, but it was a have-to thing. Unfortunately, things happen in life, and you have to go through those things. I also did the same thing for the She-Ra series. I had every single figure in the She-Ra series, including Spinderella and Lookie, if you're familiar with the She-Ra line. So I had every single playset, every single animal, everything in the She-Ra series. And I also had to sell those as well. I've gotten some of those back. I will show some of those collections in future episodes. Right now I'm concentrating more on opening new toys and looking at those. But these just came out and I'm super excited because not only did I love He-Man and She-Ra, Thundercats was up there as well. I only had 2 Thundercats figures growing up. I had Lion-O and Mumm-Ra. Later on I had the main characters, but that was it. I mainly focused on He-Man and She-Ra. But now that there's this crossover series, I knew I had to get it. I actually have a lot of the new cartoon series figures. I may show those in a different episode. I'm not buying every single figure that's out there because that's just too much, and they're a lot more expensive than they used to be. But I am getting the ones that I really want, and the new cartoon series figures are wonderful. They're everything that I would have wanted as a kid. A lot of the figures back then didn't really match what the characters looked like in the series, but this new cartoon series by Masters of the Universe by Mattel, they all match the characters in the cartoon series exactly. And they're the same size as the original figures. They have more articulation, but it's just a masterful series. It's wonderful. But again, I can't express the love I have for Masters of the Universe and She-Ra Princess of Power. It was a huge part of my life for many, many years. And until things in life happened and things had to go to the wayside. But I will show you today these figures. I'm not going to open these up. I'm keeping these in the package just because they're so expensive. These figures are $20 a piece, basically, roundabout. Some a little more expensive, some a little less expensive. But I'm not going to open them. I'm keeping them in the package because I love this packaging, and they're just too expensive to buy for me to buy multiples, to have one open and one in the package, because that's what I used to do when there were new He-Man toys that came out. Because there was another series of He-Man, and I had almost all of those figures as well, which are also sold off now. But there you have it. So we're going to take a look at these figures today, and I'll tell you what I think about them, and I'm going to tell you where I ordered them from, and give you a warning as to why. I know people already know the warnings, but they're kind of hard to find. These figures are sometimes out in the wild, out in regular stores, so it's kind of a thing where you have to order them online, and that's what I did. Unfortunately, I ordered them from the wrong location. I knew I should have ordered them from a different store, but the place I ordered them from, because I haven't ordered any He-Man Masters of the Universe figures in a long time. Usually the ones I find them out in the wild. Luckily, I try to wait. I don't grab them immediately, and a lot of the times they do come in stock. But these I wanted to get immediately because I have a feeling they're going to be very hard to find. But here we go. These are what I have. I've got the first 4 figures in the series. There's Lion-O, Cheetara, Battlecat-man, and there is Skell-Ra, which is a combination of Skeletor and mumm-ra. So, first off, we're going to take a look at Lion-O. This is the Lion-O figure. I love the artwork on these packages. It's Masters of the Universe with Thundercats, and they're just very cool. Like it's Thundercats, but they have aspects of Masters of the Universe, like the furry loincloths that the Masters figures have, the furriness on the boots, and if you notice, they come with extra accessories where you can change them back to just the regular Thundercats figures. Like they don't have to wear the Masters of the Universe types accessories. Like he has an extra headpiece, so you can take off the thing that's around his face. It's more akin to Masters of the Universe, and his boots without the furry aspect and different hands. Because there's very much Masters of the Universe was a warriors with technology, basically kind of a combination of that, sword and sorcery with technology thrown in and magic. But these figures are just beautiful. Like, you can look at the sculpts on these are beautiful. The paintwork on the faces are beautiful, and it's the same thing with the cartoon series. I mean, I'm willing to pay the extra money for these because they are very nice figures, and they look wonderful. But here is the back. Sorry, I can't. This is Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats. Battles back the ancient forces of evil from Third Earth to Third Eternia. So they're kind of doing a combination of the two. Third Earth was Thundercats, and Eternia was Masters of the Universe. So they're calling it Third Eternia. So here's the artwork. There's Lion-O, Lord of the Thundercats, and there is a comic book that is included with these figures as well. So in this series, there's Lion-O, there's Chitara, and battlecat-man, who is a completely new combination character that they made for this series, which I love. Now, that being said, I ordered these from Amazon. I should not have, but as you can see, they're completely crushed in places. The people in those warehouses just don't care. They just see a toy and they throw it in a box and don't put any care to it all. And like this, the plastic on this is completely, there's a hole in it, it's completely cracked. So don't buy your figures from Amazon. If you're going to buy them, I would suggest some of the better toy stores that are online. Buy them from there if you can't find them in stores. I don't know why they're usually in better shape when you find them in stores, but they are. Every time I order anything special like this from Amazon that needs to have special care, it always arrives damaged. You can see there are folds in the packaging, or folds in the card back, and I may wind up opening this one just because the plastic is broken anyways, and it's so damaged. But I don't know. They're very expensive figures, and yeah. But there you have it. That is Lion-O. He is the leader of the Thundercats, and I know the next wave is going to have He-Man and Tigra and Panthro. So I'm excited for that. I hope they continue the series and have some of the other characters as well, like the mutants and the Wily Kit and Wily Cat and Snarf, things like that. So this is battlecat-man. He is like, Battlecat is, of course, He-Man's cat that he rides. But they have made the Battlecat character into a Thundercats character, which is very cool. And he is the most powerful cat in the universe. And he has got the Thundercat symbol on his chest. But he is in the classic colors of Battlecat, how the original looked back in the day. But they have made him into a Thundercats character, basically, which I think is amazing and brilliant. I would have never in a million years thought they would do this crossover series. And this one says, sorry I have to turn this sideways, but it's a bit too tall. I don't have enough space. It says, after the destruction of Thundera, battlecat-man crashed on Third Eternia and now proudly protects his adopted homeworld. So I don't know what the story of these characters, and there's a Beastman on there, so that's cool. Beastman is from Masters of the Universe. I don't know if they may wind up doing him as a character in this series as well. That would be cool. You can attach his claws to his wrist. Most powerful cat in the universe. And just the artwork on these is just beautiful. And up next we have Cheetara. Cheetara and Tigra were my favorite characters from the original series. When I was little, I actually asked for Cheetara and Tigra for my birthday, and instead got Lion-O and Mumm-ra. So it is what it is. But there she is. Gorgeous figure. Also has some shin pieces to change, so she looks more like her regular Thundercat self with her regular Thundercat hair. And there's her bow, her weapon, and she is the fastest feline in the universe. But again, never in a million years would I have thought they would have done this crossover series. When they announced this, I was just in shock. I know they've done the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover series. That I had no interest in. I liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it wasn't something that I really collected or watched when I was younger. It came out a little bit later when I was younger. Like, it was closer more to the 90s when I was in high school, so I was kind of out of the cartoon era then. I still watch cartoons, but it didn't captivate my imagination like Masters of the Universe and She-Ra did, and Thundercats. But she is a gorgeous figure. Here's the back. It says, "Beware, forces of evil. Nothing in the universe can match the speed of the Thundercats' ferocious warrior Cheetara." So there's Cheetara. There's the artwork. She actually has a little piece that looks like her weapon actually expands in the cartoon, so that's a throwback to that. It's a little small piece that she can wear on her wrist, because that's kind of what she did in the cartoon. It's kind of hidden, and then she would pull it out and it would expand. But I just love these. These are amazing, and I can't wait for the rest to come out. The look of the He-Man figure in this series, I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's okay. They made him look. I kind of like that they made him look different than the regular series, so it's kind of its own thing. But this is Skell-Ra, the ever-living evil of Eternia. So this is kind of a combination of Mumm-Ra and Skeletor. So he's got a Skeletor body and Skeletor face. But he's got Mumm-Ra's symbol on his chest, on his armor. And he's kind of got, if you can see in there, he's got Mumm-Ra's feet. And you can switch him out and just completely make him Mumm-Ra as well, which is very cool. I forgot to show you on these other ones. The other two, Battlecat-man and Cheetara, weren't as damaged as Lion-O, but they are still, like this one, they put a stupid sticker on it, and it's just damaged on the corners. Just not the best. So if you're worried about packaging, don't buy your stuff from Amazon. They just damage the corners. They don't really care. The worst, the bunch was Lion-O, but this one was treated pretty poorly too. But it was more of an unbox. This one's more expensive. This one was $28 because it's a bigger, more deluxe figure. And you can tell it's more weighty. He's just bigger than the others. And he's got more accessories as well. But he's very cool. Now this one, when it came, you can see that crease in the packaging there. They actually had it folded over like that in the box, and I was livid. So this one actually shows you that you can change out the heads to change the character. It says replace the head to turn Skell-Ra into Mumm-Ra. It's got a reversible cape, and you can put his sword in his hand. And this one, sorry I'm having to put these sideways, it won't, my camera won't go back any farther. So Skeletor discovered the mysterious Black Pyramids on Eternia. Now, with the strength of mumm-ra granted to him by the ancient spirits of evil, Skell-Ra the Ever-Living comes after the power of Grayskull, and he is more dangerous than ever before. So it kind of shows him changing like mumm-ra did in the cartoon. And this one has character parts in it, which is cool. So you can kind of see those in the back there. Again, I'm not going to open these. And like I said, this one was $28, but still, there you have it. I also ordered this figure. He's a little worse for wear in there. This is Orko. If you're not familiar with Orko, he was one of the characters in the original Masters of the Universe cartoon, and he was one of my favorite characters as a kid. And this figure actually just came out not too long ago. It's been out not very long at all. And you can actually, there's an extra head in this one where you can change him into Uncle Montork. Montork was Orko's uncle, so this is actually two different characters in one as well. And he's a smaller figure that it looks like his hat has been in there, has been pushed down. He's got some eyes in there. And this is an instance where there were more in this series that was released. In this one was Orko, Grizzlor, and Fangman. And I really only just wanted Orko, so that's what I got. And this actually has the episode where Orko's Uncle Montork was introduced. So there you have it. Very cool. And just to show you, I am an OG Masters of the Universe fan. Here is my lunchbox, but what's inside is what is even more impressive. Not the thermos, but this is one of the things that I kept from my original collection. I know somebody's probably going to tell me, oh, you shouldn't have it in a plastic bag, but this is just where I have them for right now. This is Wonder Bread He-Man from the 80's. If you don't know what Wonder Bread He-Man is, there's this huge lore and mystery as to where he actually came from. It's never truly been figured out, but it was this weird He-Man figure with brown hair and black boots and brown and black on his shorts, and nobody really knows where it came from. It was a mail away of some sort. People, we think, the fandom thinks, but nobody is really for sure. And people have asked Mattel. Mattel has looked in their archives to try to see where this figure came from, and they claim to have no record of where this figure came from. So nobody knows. And he is one of the more rare figures just because he was a mail away and there's just not a lot of them out there. I mean, he's called Wonder Bread He-Man because there was speculation at first that it was a mail away from Wonder Bread, but that's been disproved. Wonder Bread just had some cards that you could collect. They never had a mail away figure. But there have been other mail away promotions for He-Man in the past, in the 80's, that this could have came from, and nobody's quite for sure, and they don't really know why the color variation came into play for this. But this was one of my figures. I had him, and yeah, I got him it's probably been 20 years ago that I got this figure, and he's worth quite a bit of money. But I will keep him, and I keep him in my He-Man lunchbox to keep him safe. There he is. And nobody's really for sure what even originally came with this figure. There's some speculation that he came with this vest accessory, but it's not for sure, so I have that. And he also came with, it's speculated that he came with these maroon weapons. But you can look up, sorry about that, my battery died on my camera, but these are the supposed accessories that came with him, these maroon colored accessories, but nobody's quite for sure. And like I don't know if I caught it before, but like I said, I think there are even videos on YouTube about the mystery of Wonder Bread He-Man and where he came from. So, but there's been lots of research. Many people have tried to find where he came from. The last I knew, still wasn't figured out, but that could have changed. I could have missed it because I've been kind of out of the collecting loop for a while. But there you have it. This is the Masters of the Universe and Thundercats crossover and my original Wonder Bread He-Man figure. So tell me, is this content that you like? Do you like seeing these figures? I have some of the other cartoon series figures in this collection, like the Orko figure, and I'm basically only getting the characters that I like. So tell me, is this something that you're interested in seeing? Is it something that you like? Were you a fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe? Were you a fan of the Thundercats? But I think it's amazing that they're doing a crossover, and I love it. And I'll probably be buying all of these figures that are in this collection just because I love those properties. There you have it. Join me next time when I open up some more toys, talk about some more toys, tell you what I think about them, tell you if they're worth the money, worth the hype. To me, these are worth the money. They're just amazing figures. Like they're just their sculpts and the artwork on them. They're more expensive, but it kind of is what it is. Like action figures have gotten more expensive because I think younger kids are no longer really into the whole action figure thing. I think it's kind of lost its panache in a way, and I think these are more for adult collectors now, and I think that's fine, and I'm willing to pay the extra cost, but I'm not going to buy more than one, which I used to do all the time. But there you have it. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe crossover with Thundercats. Also, I forgot to add, this will probably be the last video that I do on Mondays. I'm gonna go, I posted a new video every day for the past almost 4 months, and I'm now gonna start taking Mondays off just so I have that day off. Like every day has been a video, and I feel like I need Mondays off just for myself, and so I'm going to be going to a schedule where I post videos Tuesday through Sunday, and Mondays I will not have a new video up, but I will have videos every Tuesday through Sunday. Sometimes I may have a video on Monday if something special comes out and I feel the need that I need to get the video out quickly, but I'm going to try to keep the Mondays for myself and also for my job as well, because I do work a full-time job on top of this. I don't get paid for this. All the toys you see in these videos I buy with my own money. I'm not sponsored. I don't have sponsorships. People don't pay me. I do this for fun because I enjoy it, and it's my hobby. So there you have it. I will catch you next time. Later.